Alright, and another good evening to you guys out in the zoo. How are you guys doing today? I am the Bronx Blogger here in a gloomy evening. It's already dark. It's dark a little early. We had some pretty bad weather come by here today, thanks to the jet stream from the Gulf Coast that's been coming up, covering everyone in showers. Some areas have been hit by storms and others severe thunderstorms, especially down towards the Gulf. But this is not a weather show. This is a baseball show, so let's get right into it. Another episode of MLB Round Up here on March 4th, 2008. I'm going to go ahead and get into a couple contract signings. One of them is actually a signing. It's more of an extension. Jeff Francoeur of the Atlanta Braves, they extended his contract for another year. He should be expected to make $450,000. The official terms of the contract have not been released. Brad Hoff of the Colorado Rockies, this outfielder, is going to be making $17.425 million over 3 years, and he was one of the key players that helped lead the charge for the Rockies, winning 22 of 23, if I have that correct, and winning their first ever National League pennant. Unfortunately, in the World Series, their hot streak ended abruptly. The Detroit Tigers, they're going to announce that Brandon Inge is no longer catching with them anymore. So during the spring training season, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a tough competition ahead to figure out who's going to be the new catcher. A little bit of sad news here. Well, not really sad, but for you Phillies fans, it may be touching home. Your first base, Davey Lopes, he's been diagnosed with prostate cancer. So on behalf of Roots here, wishes go out to him. Now a little bit more into the steroids issue. I'm not going to go into depth about the whole Bonds or Clemens issue, but the owner of the Astros, Drayton McLane, he during one of the spring training games today, he told a crowd of baseball fans that he was unfortunate, quote unquote, that Congress had to choose the hearings on the use of steroids in baseball. Apparently, Selig is too lazy to take care of himself until rumors surfaced that steroids were being used, and he said, "Oh my gosh, I mean, what am I going to do?" So instead of taking matters into his own hands, he just drafted a pretty horrible drug policy and let Congress take care of the rest, which, in my opinion, it's crap. Steroids needs to be out of baseball. Let the players play at a competitive level, not at a cheating level. An interesting news today. We had a perfect game during spring training. Unfortunately, it was not an official game, but perfect nonetheless, as the 4 pitchers for the New York Yankees, Philip Hughes, Scott Patterson, Kei Igawa, and Billy Traber, they all threw perfect innings, and the New York Yankees defeated the Toronto Blue Jays 2-0 in 6 innings. Game was shortened due to rain, and we had another game that was shortened where Cincinnati, this one is official, Cincinnati defeated Cleveland 7-4. It took them 5 innings. And the Minnesota and Tampa Bay game was canceled due to inclement weather. Other scores: the Houston Astros defeated the powerhouse Detroit Tigers 11-10. Dodgers over the Nationals 5-3. Mets over Florida 6-2. Atlanta over Phillies 10-1. Boston taking out Pittsburgh 5-3. Baltimore showing a pretty good, strong outing this spring so far. They defeated the lowly St. Louis Cardinals 10-2. Arizona Diamondbacks top the Rangers 9-3, and Kansas City all over Colorado 11-5. Oakland defeated Seattle 9-6, and the same score goes: San Diego over San Francisco 9-6. And trivia time. We're going to go ahead and get into that. Actually, before we get into that, just have a couple of quick announcements. I posted this in a thread earlier last evening. I wouldn't really say early late last evening, about ideas that we can go ahead and put on the show. Now, granted, until Jesse creates Roots of Video, I am stuck with the 10-minute limit with YouTube, which it doesn't mind. I mean, I've been making time recently. Yesterday's show was only about 6.5 minutes long. But we're going to implement some of your ideas into the show, get this more interactive for you guys, make it more fun instead of me just sitting here reading stuff off paper. And we also have a shout out, Houston, Texas Pride, to Dugout Stories. HTB says, watch out, Astros, here come the Rockies. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we can get a small little group bet in there. We're going to go ahead and get into trivia. Yesterday's question was, who is the only pitcher to strike out 300-plus batters and win 30-plus games in the same season? That was Walter Johnson of the Washington Senators back in 1912. He got 303 strikeouts, won 33 games. Today's question may be a toughie, maybe an easy one, but in the 1920s, Babe Ruth, as we all know, was the big home run hitter. But in one season in 1920, one other player in Major League Baseball out-homered Ruth. Who is that player? Again, who is the only player to hit more home runs than Babe Ruth in one season in the 1920s? If you think you know the answer, send me a message through my profile, and I will announce the winner tomorrow. Yesterday's winner was MJ the Eraser. He's the one that correctly guessed Walter Johnson. And that puts him into the leaderboard for a free replica autographed baseball. Now, granted, this is not actual autograph, so unless you guys give me a little cash here, I can't be getting a hold of those. But I'll get you the replica autograph. Currently in the lead is Houston Texans' Pride. He has 2 wins. Everybody else has 1. And below this video, you can see the complete leaderboard. So if you have any ideas, anything you want to put on the show, make it more interactive, if you want to talk about my eyebrows, you can go ahead and do that. And tomorrow we'll announce a new trivia winner with a new question. And in the meantime, y'all keep zooing.